Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co Daily Futures Market Review for the trading day ending Tuesday, September 29th. Firstly to gold futures, and here we see a continuation of the trend to the downside today. Continued black body candles suggesting that net momentum is still with the sellers. Very much very much smaller than the previous day's candle, and suggesting that that momentum to the downside is not as great, and suggesting that there is some doubt about whether this trend will continue to the downside. We have seen the sellers close with control by closing between the midpoint level and the low, so that's favouring continued selling, but strong support coming in at the 1124 region, an area where in the immediate past we did see some strong buying coming off, so that's an area we should be watching very closely. We have seen the market just close outside of the Ichimoku cloud, so potential for the market to transition into a strong downtrending phase in the longer term time frame. But what I'd like to see is some strong follow through to confirm this breakout, and that would include the market breaching down below the 1124 region. We also saw the market attempt to rally throughout the day and find resistance at the Tenkan-sen indicator and at the 1133.9 previous level of support and resistance within the cloud. So now the cloud for this candle has acted as a resistance. To NYMEX oil, and here we see the market continuing to trade within this congestion area. No resolution of that yet. Another small body candle. There was hope for the sellers for the previous day's trading with the build of a larger black body candle. No follow through here today with the formation of a white body candle. The market trading up to the Tenkan-sen and finding resistance there, and with the market caught in no man's land in quite a few time frames, trading within the Ichimoku cloud, so no clear direction in the longer term time frame. Trading between the Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen, so perhaps transitioning or attempting to transition between the trends in the faster and the medium term time frame, but no resolution of that at the moment either. Here we see this descending type triangle, the market now trading within the Ichimoku cloud, so strong support now all the way down to the bottom of the cloud. So even if we do see the market close below the lower barrier, there's still no guarantee that we are going to see this market develop further to the downside based on the breakout of the congestion area. So trading within the cloud certainly has muddied the use of this technique. Next to wheat futures, and following the introduction of an indecisive candle for the previous day's trading, we see another indecisive candle, which in bar chart terms is an inside day. It's within the range of the previous day's trading, and this suggests a continued indecision in this market for the trend to the upside. The trend technically is still up, even though we have formation of a couple of black body candles, and the introduction of indecision here suggests that we could see a change of trend to the downside, but we have very solid support at the $500 level now. Previous resistance, round number now offering itself as support for the past two candles. Down below there, Tenkan-sen support at 498, and then just down below that region at 496.50. If we can breach through there in a bearish manner, we could easily see wheat futures trading down to the Kijun-sen support around 489 level. Strong resistance overhead at the Ichimoku cloud, roughly around the 509 region. So a market that really is not a good trading market at the moment as well. Next to corn futures, and not an indecisive candle here, so we did see an indecisive candle for the previous day's trading, and we were looking for a potential change of trend, but here we do have an inside day in bar chart terms, which does raise some doubt about whether the trend will continue to the upside. But we have seen formation of a white body candle, so the buyers have found some net momentum to the upside, and they've closed with control on this candle by closing up at the high. The problem here is now that the market's closed within the cloud, we have a neutral market in big picture terms, and we may find resistance anywhere within the cloud up to the top of it, which is now up around the round number 400. We also have some important swing highs based resistance at 393 and 398 within the cloud as well, which may strengthen the resistance around those regions. Support is also very strong at the previous resistance area at 385, and then down at the Kijun-sen at 383. To the US 30-year bond futures, and here we see a continuation of the trend to the upside. Previous days trading, we had a very large white body candle, a good build of momentum from the buyers for them to assault the top of the Ichimoku cloud. They are unable to close up above there, finding resistance at the 157.12 level. Today we have seen a close up above, with the buyers continuing with control, so closing up towards the high and well up above the midpoint level. The one thing to consider is the reduction in the size of the white body, suggesting that the momentum is not as great as it was previously. But with the buyers closing with control, it suggests potential for the market to continue the trend. But what we want to see here after the breakout to the upside is another bullish candle with some strong bullish follow through, and that would confirm the bullish breakout. At the moment we're seeing selling coming in, and the top of the cloud here, roughly about 157.17, holding as support. Just within the top of the cloud also 157.12 we have potentially strong support, and that area held as strong resistance in the recent past. An opportunity here for the buyers if they're strong enough. Whether they are remains to be seen. Next to the S&P 500 futures on the hourly charts, and here we saw the market open down below each of the Ichimoku indicators. We were looking very overextended down around this 1861 level, not quite making it to the first pivot point support level, and then attempting to rally to find equilibrium in terms of the medium-term time frame, and found that equilibrium by being attracted back towards the Kijun-sen and then finding resistance there, attempting to sell off, but testing back towards that Kijun-sen for the remainder of the day, and also the Tenkan-sen indicator. At the moment we've opened around the middle pivot point level. We are just hovering around the Tenkan-sen as well, so no clear direction in that short-term time frame, and the Kijun-sen is very close to there, so a lack of clear direction in those shorter time frames. The market is still trading down below the Ichimoku cloud, so it's still a negative market in terms of the longer term time frame. If we see buying coming in, we may see the market test to the first pivot point resistance level at 1882, roughly about 1889, 1890, and then we see the Ichimoku cloud actually move down from there. So the resistance offered throughout the trading day after the first couple of hours actually moves lower. The major resistance moves lower, and at the end of the day will meet the middle pivot point level. If we trade lower off these levels, and there is a possibility of that, looking to the first pivot point support level around 1860 to hold, and then we could end up testing the second around 1846. The third down around 1817 just looks a little too overextended in terms of the depth away from the cloud, and certainly seems an unlikely target.